There has been a major development in Liverpool's pursuit of Bradley Barcola, and this time it has come directly from Paris Saint-Germain manager Luis Enrique. Let's break this down. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Liverpool's interest in the French winger is no secret, but the biggest obstacle has remained PSG's enormous asking price. The French champions are believed to want around £145 million for Barcola, while Liverpool's valuation is closer to £102.6 million. That gap has appeared significant, but Enrique's latest comments could suggest that the situation is beginning to change. Speaking ahead of the French Super Cup, Enrique was discussing the kind of players he wants at PSG and made a particularly interesting remark about those who may not be completely happy at the club. He said, "We are a very young, very ambitious team. It is important for us to make changes and look for players who enjoy playing our way and who love playing for PSG." But then came the line that has immediately raised eyebrows among Liverpool supporters. Enrique added, "When a player doesn't want to come here or doesn't have a smile on their face about being here, it is better to find another solution." Now, Enrique did not actually name Barcola. However, given everything that has been reported around the winger's future, the timing of those comments is extremely interesting. Barcola has only just returned to pre-season training and was an unused substitute during PSG's Super Cup victory over Aston Villa. Even more intriguingly, his celebrations appeared noticeably muted. That does not prove that Barcola wants to leave PSG, but when you combine that with Liverpool's continued pursuit and Enrique openly discussing finding solutions for players who are unhappy, it certainly creates an intriguing picture. And Liverpool are apparently still pushing. Reports in France claim that Liverpool remain in contact with PSG over a potential deal for Barcola, with L'Equipe's Loic Tanzi reporting that an offer is being prepared, which could potentially involve 18-year-old Ibrahim Mbaye as part of the equation. There is another fascinating factor here as well. PSG have already been making moves in the attacking areas, with Ferran Torres and Mika Götze reportedly arriving on their radar. If the French club continue reshaping their forward line, that could potentially make room for a major departure. And that is where Liverpool come into the picture. The Reds need attacking reinforcements, particularly if Cody Gakpo's situation develops as expected. If Gakpo does eventually leave Anfield, Liverpool are widely expected to look at bringing in two wingers. Barcola would be one of those targets. And that could completely change the complexion of this transfer saga. Liverpool would still have to bridge a significant financial gap with PSG. But if Enrique and the French champions genuinely believe that a player who is not completely committed to remaining in Paris should be moved on, then suddenly the possibility of a compromise becomes far more realistic. For Liverpool, this could be the opportunity they have been waiting for. The Reds are reportedly prepared to go to around £102.6 million, while PSG want closer to £145 million. Somewhere between those two figures could potentially be where this deal gets done. And with just 17 days remaining in the transfer window, time is running out. Richard Hughes still has plenty of work to do. Liverpool are not only trying to bring in new attacking players, but there are also questions surrounding Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott and Federico Chiesa, while several loan deals could still take place. But Barcola remains one of the biggest stories. Liverpool want him. PSG want an enormous fee. And now Luis Enrique has publicly suggested that when a player does not look happy at the club, it is better to find another solution. In other news, there has been a major development in the future of Cody Gakpo, with reports emerging claiming that the Liverpool winger has now reached an agreement to join Tottenham. And if these reports are accurate, this could be one of the biggest Liverpool transfer stories of the summer. According to Dutch outlet Voetbal International, Tottenham have taken the next major step in their pursuit of Gakpo following contact with Liverpool. And the claim is that an agreement has already been reached in principle between Spurs and the player. That would be a huge development, particularly given Gakpo's importance to Liverpool over the last few seasons. The 27-year-old has established himself as a key attacking option, featuring prominently under both Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot. However, the arrival of Andoni Iraola has brought a completely different attacking structure to Liverpool, and that could now be creating an opening for a surprise exit. Tottenham, meanwhile, are reportedly looking to bring in two forwards as Roberto De Zerbi continues to reshape his squad. And Gakpo appears to be one of their leading targets. There are even claims that Tottenham have submitted a bid worth around £60 million for the Dutch international. However, this is where things become particularly interesting, because that part of the story is being disputed. While Soccer News journalist Munir Bouwelen has reported that an initial offer of more than £60 million has been made, Voetbal International's Jus Blauhof has claimed that Tottenham have not yet made an offer to Liverpool. So, despite the headline-grabbing claims, there is still a significant question mark over whether an official bid has actually landed at Anfield. What does appear to be gaining traction, though, is the suggestion that Gakpo himself is open to the move. A D journalist, Rick Elfrink, has also suggested that there is an opening for a transfer, with the winger reportedly receptive to the possibility of joining Tottenham. And that is potentially the most important part of this entire story. Because if Gakpo has indeed agreed in principle to personal terms, Tottenham may now be waiting to convince Liverpool to sanction the transfer. Liverpool's position, however, is believed to be more complicated. Despite the growing confidence coming from the Netherlands, the latest information indicates that the Reds' stance around Gakpo has not dramatically changed. Liverpool are not simply looking to sell one of their established forwards and leave Iraola short of options. In fact, the plan would reportedly be for two wingers to arrive if Gakpo does leave. That is where another enormous transfer saga comes into play. Bradley Barcola. Liverpool have been heavily linked with the Paris Saint-Germain winger, and significant progress in those negotiations could potentially change the picture surrounding Gakpo. If Liverpool can land Barcola and another winger on top of him, suddenly Gakpo's departure becomes far more realistic.